Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And I am not in Florida, as you may be able to tell. I'm still in Del Mar, California. We just wrapped up our second Mastermind group, and I'll be heading home in a couple days after I go and speak at the inaugural Females in Finance program in Palm Desert later on this week. So today's topic for our show is going to be, and it may sound a little pitchy, but it's really not. I've watched well over 12 years now that I've been running mastermind groups for advisors. I've been watching them collaborate, watching them hold each other accountable, watching them become innovative, breakthrough thinking, breakthrough ideas, all of the above. And I've come to the conclusion that if you're serious about your success as an advisor, that you either need to A, start your own group, B, find a group that you can resonate with, right? You have to do that. And when I say a mastermind group, let me be very clear. I'm not talking about like a BNI or a leads group or a networking group. I'm talking about something that's very definitive in its mission. Masterminds are about bringing together like-minded people, men and women, and in this case advisors, right, to collaborate and to add value to each other, to create bonds and relationships, to hold each other accountable, right, in a positive way, right? Nobody's here to browbeat anybody. And I've watched the differential of, like, I run 4 groups: Elite, M4, M5, and Empire. And they all have different purposes. They all have different kind of, players in them, if you will. But the one common theme they all have, one common thread: honesty and collaboration. Now, it's been interesting. I've been observing this profession now for almost 30 years. And it's not as collaborative as you would think it is, because your colleague is your competitor, right? So the man or woman down the hall, if you're at a big firm, or if you go to a broker-dealer conference or anything like that, everybody's kind of, there's always this, kind of undertone, right? An agenda, if you will, by the sponsoring organizations. Like I was just reading the other day, one of my clients forwarded me this, and I'm not getting into names or anything, and they say, hey, I found this other group that's doing mastermind groups just like you. And I said, oh, that's cool. I'm always interested in that. And you do a little digging and you say, well, it's really an IMO. They really want a ton of annuity production, and they'll talk about being a mastermind, but what's going to be the agenda there? Is it really best practices, collaboration, open and honesty? Or is it really going to be more of, well, we'd like to be part of this group, but you got to good year contracts here, right? So you just want to make sure, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not here to say, come talk to me. What I'm saying is find 2 or 3 like-minded individuals. They don't have to be local. The beauty of Zoom these days, and all my groups utilize Zoom. One of my group is 100% Zoom, M5. Start with 2 or 3 people. Start with 2 or 3 advisors, maybe people that you went to a training class with, or maybe somebody that you met at a conference and you really resonated with and you kind of been staying in touch, right? Start with 2 or 3. So maybe there's 4 of you, maybe 5. And just commit to getting together once a month on Zoom. And I'll give you the protocol. I mean, I'm a free share here. So, the way you would hold these meetings, somebody have to be leader to run the room. Now, I facilitate all my meetings, right? So I'm in there. I like to call it directing traffic, if you will. But 4 or 5 of you could self-facilitate. You don't need anybody to do that. And really what you want to do is each meeting, if you're doing a Zoom meeting, it's 4 or 5 of you, figure 60 to 90 minutes a month. Everybody gets 15 to 20 minutes of floor time. And when we say floor time, what is the issue, the question, the challenge that you want to bring to the group, right? That's what this is about. Like when I run my live meetings here in Del Mar, wherever else I've done them over the years, everybody gets a half hour. We do it over 2 days. And my groups are big. There'll be, I think we had 19 people group 1, 12 or 13 people group 2. So, we have, and everybody gets a half hour. And what's fascinating is that you could be a member of a group and have a fellow member present a question that you've never even thought about. It's like it wasn't even on your radar. And because the group works through it, not only did the member who brought the question or issue or challenge is well served, gets a lot of value, but you're like, I never thought of that, and that was very valuable to me, right? So if you do these on Zoom, and then so you kind of, everybody gets their floor time, right? I want to get back to the model. And then everybody does what we call a commitment. So hey, between now and next meeting, whether that meeting is 30 days from now or 6 months from now, everybody does a commitment. And not only do you do a commitment, it has to be measurable, so we have to know pass fail. But also, if you fail, what happens? What do you owe the group? See, what we do here is we have this document at the end of every meeting, and I say, okay, commitment round. Everybody thinks about it for about 15, 20 minutes. They sign off, hey, I declare this is what I'm going to do. This is why it's important to me. Here's the economic impact when I'm successful. And what do I need from the group, right? So how can we help you achieve this? And then, hey, if you fail, what do you owe us? So here in California, right, we get everything from, we had In-N-Out Burger for lunch one day because somebody missed their mark. We had somebody do a 20-minute ab workout over lunch because they missed their mark. And we don't browbeat people, we make it fun, right? But that, hey, I gotta come back to this group and report in on did I accomplish it or not. That is the concept of masterminding. It is about collaborative accountability. Well, there's a new term. I believe, because I've now observed my groups for over a decade, and the insurance companies, if you're watching or listening to me and you're like at a MetLife, Mass, Guardian, Northwestern, the insurance agents, the insurance world has had what they call study groups for many, many years, many decades, which is a form of a mastermind, basically. The challenge with that sometimes is it's all about one company, and by the way, real quick for some of you, for everybody else, I would caution you not to create a company-specific mastermind for 2 reasons. Number one, if you're all in the same environment, it ends up being a little bit of a bitch/complain session about management, leadership, whatever. So not a lot of value in that. The second reason why it's very incestuous in terms of what you can look at. You're seeing the industry, the world, the opportunity from one lens. See, in my groups, we have wirehouse, we have independent broker-dealer, we have pure RIA, hybrid RIA, people in their 30s, people in their 60s, and I put them all together. And again, I've been doing this for a while. That's what makes them powerful. Because you have so many points of distinction, so many different ways of doing this business. We all know this. There's not the way, there's the way that works for you, right? We all know that. And I really think that's the key. That's the key. So here's what I'm going to challenge you with for really 2022, right? Who you associate with. Go back to one of my podcasts I did maybe 6 months ago. I talked about the power of associations. Who you associate with has a dramatic direct and indirect impact on how fast you grow, how high you grow, economics, mindset, right? We all know this is a lonely business. And I don't care if you run a team of 20, it's lonely at the top, right? We hear that all the time. And if you're like a solopreneur, especially with COVID, you're working out of your house or a small office, man, it's like you're on the island. Find some associations. Okay, that's what so that's really the message as we wrap up this episode, because I've got to get going. I've got to get out to the conference out in Palm Desert. is make a commitment for 2022 that you're not going to be a lone wolf anymore, that you're not going to just go at it alone, that you're going to find a large or small tribe of like-minded men and women who want to be better, that want to elevate, right? That want to grow. Seek those people out. Again, you don't need me for this. Go through your LinkedIn profiles, right? Go find the people that you like. Be a leader. Make the offer. Hey, I think we should put a small group together. Be the leader. Be the founder. Be in power. Okay? That's what I want you to think about. Now, with that said, if you have any questions, please reach out to me. If I can be of any assistance in terms of syntax or how do you put these together or how does the meeting flow or tools, please consider me a resource. Okay? With that said, I got to grab an Uber. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And again, I apologize for the sunglasses, but it is literally the sun. You can see it if you're in the video. The sun's beating down and I'd be squinting the whole time trying to do this video. Have a great day. Thanks for listening and watching, and I hope our paths cross very soon. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.